Over the last 3 years, I have looked at over 1,000 pitch decks. On the one hand, from the investor perspective, but on the other hand, as a founder of BaseTemplates, helping thousands of founders raise money for their startup. In this video, I will tell you about the 7 lessons that I learned. Number 1. A good deck is about leaving things out. Did you know that the average investor only spends 3 minutes looking at a single deck? Yeah, that's not really much to understand a whole business. As you can guess, it is our job as a founder to decide how we are going to best use this 3 minutes. And that means leaving all the unnecessary stuff out and only focusing on what's relevant. The best decks and founders are really good at this. Always think for yourself that your deck is here to get us the first foot in the door. So describe the problem, the solution, and the opportunity in a way that it is easy to understand without going too much into detail. It's more than enough time for that later on during meetings with the potential investor. You can also always create an appendix with more slides that you can show if someone requests them. Number 2, don't be sloppy on the design. Most people are right if they say that content matters, but no one likes shitty design, and the chances are quite high investors won't even look at your deck if the design looks old. It says something about your own standards. Make sure to have a great design so that investors love to scroll through your deck, and if you can't do it on your own, just hire someone online. Number 3, use the common structure. Over the last 15 to 20 years, a certain structure for the deck has become the de facto standard. That means including slides like problem, solution, market, traction, and a few other ones. In my opinion, the best decks stay inside this kind of structure because it makes it easy for the reader to follow. In a lot of cases, more experiential decks are hard to follow and a little bit annoying to look at because you spend most of your time figuring the structure out instead of thinking about the business. 4. Tell a story. Everyone loves a good story, so make sure to use the pitch deck to tell either your story or the company's story. This can, for example, be the story of how you personally had the problem you are solving now with your company and you came up with a solution because no one else did. Giving the audience context makes you more trustworthy, but also invites the audience to become part of the solution. And if they are part of it, it's easier to get their money. 5. Opportunity plus team plus traction. For me, there are 3 important things you should focus your deck on. The first thing is the opportunity. Investors want to make money, and they want to see opportunities. They are not so much thinking about limiting their downside, but more about where the extraordinary upside can be. So make it easy for them to agree with your views by showing off the opportunity in the best possible way. The second thing is the team. An idea is worth nothing without a good team. Try to be very specific about why the skill set, but also the experience of your team is vital to the company's success. Third up is the traction. I always tell the companies I work with that the traction is what makes the investor say yes or no in the end. And I define traction as everything that you did from the moment you first started thinking about the idea. Obviously, in the first weeks, this might be user interviews, but the longer the time you spend building your business actually, the more numbers driven this has to be. Lesson number 6, love the iteration. Every good deck changes over time, and that's totally fine. Because if you get the first feedbacks, you can quickly feel which of your ideas worked in the first place and which ideas were very, very hard to sell. So don't fall into the trap of seeing your pitch deck as a static document. It's not uncommon that the best pitch decks look totally different at the end of the fundraise compared to the beginning. And every feedback that you get is a way of improvement. Last but not least, lesson 7. Adjust your deck to your stage. One thing that I realized during my pitch deck studies is that decks massively differ between the different company stages. So if you are in the idea or pre-seed stage, you can almost talk exclusively about the vision and the team. In the later stage, numbers are way more important for every investor. Just take a look at different decks from different stages to get a sense for this. You can do this by searching for real pitch decks examples, for example. I hope you like these 7 lessons on pitch decks, and now you can jump right into building your own. If you want to see more videos on pitch decks, leave a comment and subscribe.